So, got my Shungite on. Sally's had a fall, so she's not going to be channeling today. But I'm going to step to the mark and bring you a little meditation about Shungite. Grounding into tree wisdom, feeling that wisdom flooding up from the earth. So that's the title of this short guided meditation today, using Shungite to ground. So I'm just going to pop over to the different platforms and just have a look at, see if I'm actually live. Shungite on. Yep. Thank you, Devil. Yeah. These things happen, you know. Mum's doing really well. She's 72 now, so she's doing incredibly well for her age. Yep, we're live there, one watching there. So we're just going to work with Shungite today. And Sophie's in the middle of finishing her cabin, so there's lots of people here milling around and making noise and stuff. So I'm just going to shut the window. Sorry about that. Right then. So we're in my little studio today. Just see how it looks. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's play my little soundtrack. This is one of my sacred soundtracks called Tree Wisdom. We're in my little studio today. Okay, there's one second. Okay. Okay, there's one second. Turn the Facebook down. Okay. Okay, see there's 9 people watching. Welcome. So I thought I'd start by just introducing myself again. As you know, I'm Sally's son, Jerome Zoran, and for many years I've been doing Chung Fu's work, Chung Fu's teachings, Chung Fu's practices and meditations, working with his tools. And yeah, I'm a bit biased, but I'm a major fan of everything that Chung Fu brings to us. And so I'm just taking this opportunity to arrive here for you with all that I've learned and all that I've brought up from inside, having a great love for crystals and sound and meditation and grounding. So let's just really own for a minute. We all need to just ground more, including myself. We're just obviously just feeling like as the world gets intense, that's the go-to. Right, need to ground. So maybe you have Shungite, maybe you don't. If you've got Shungite, just go and grab it and we can just wait a few moments. for you to go and grab it. Shungite is by far the greatest discovery that I have discovered for myself. Obviously it's been discovered. Buckminster Fuller discovered the fullerene molecule in here, and many scientists have discovered remarkable things that would just blow you away. Excuse me. So working with it for grounding is the one. It really is the thing for these times. So just holding your Shungite, if you've got it by now. And you've done it before. You've all worked with Shungite, those of you that have it. But we're going to just hold the Shungite. Right now I've got a pyramid. I've got a double-sided pyramid as well, here. Upturned, downturned Shungite pyramid as well. So these pyramids are super strong to work with. Now, we're in the heart of Avalon here, southwest of Glastonbury, and it's a magical place. So working with pyramid energy here, I absolutely love it. It's so grounding. It happens within minutes. So maybe you've got a pyramid. Maybe you have a double-sided pyramid as well. If you don't, I've got these things on my website, jrocker.com/crystals. But if you don't have them, we'll just imagine that you are holding them. Maybe you're holding elite Shungite. Maybe you're holding some grade 2. Maybe you're holding your Shungite mala bead necklace. Maybe you're holding an elite Shungite pendant. Just holding a piece of Shungite and rubbing it and saying hello. Hello, Shungite. I welcome your fullerene molecule, your Super C60 carbon. I open my heart to you, and I breathe you into my body to strengthen me, to ground me, to make me feel strong. And each day as I work with you, I know I will become strong. And just breathing in, and you're holding the Shungite. Just feel it. It's cool, so cooling. And just holding that piece of Shungite in your hand and just moving it around. So we've got the pyramid here. So cooling. If you've had a bit of a full-on day or a stressful week or month, you just put the Shungite on the brow, at the head, and you just breathe out energy from you into the Shungite, and you could make a sound as well. Ooh. And I want to talk about the balancing power of this stuff. And this whole thing of negativity that we're all like pushing through at the moment. So if we just imagine that you can sense within you there is a balance of negative and positive energy. You know, that moment when you just, yes, I'm feeling so good. Never mind about all of that stuff that's happening. It's not really affecting me. I've got love and compassion for it, but I'm just feeling really good. And you're like checking in there and you're like, well, maybe I'm feeling like 60-40 good. And then you're like, maybe it's more like 70-30. So what we do with the heavy stuff, that's really key here. And holding the Shungite you can see straight away where we're gonna put that heavy stuff. So there are varying degrees of releasing. You can either listen straight to a big chunk of energy and let that force out into the Shungite and see it soaking that up like a vibration. It's just like a sponge. If you read up on Shungite, I mean, there's people that have written volumes on it. It literally is like a sponge. You hold it, you work with it, and it is like brushing your body with a sponge. You know, just really. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just, in this little journey, short little journey together, we're going to think about the percentage of negative within us, and we're going to welcome it. So this is what I've learned from Chong Fu, is most often we feel stuff within us and we're like, nah, I'm not really like that, I'm like this. So what we want to do is we want to actually know, we're having tea here, let's welcome all those bits forward to have space here and to voice. And so when I work with clients, we work from the top, so we start slow, but we welcome them to, ooh. If you breathe in, your breath will actually tell you, you know, so it's like, it's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with those heavy sounds, because we're not going to stop there. We're actually going to first let them voice, let them use the throat chakra. The energy's then in the room, but we're kind of like aiming it into the Shungite. If we exploded this up, magnified it, made it huge, and imagined that we were in a vast Shungite temple, and there are these orbs floating around, liquid Shungite rippling orbs. We're actually using those orbs, they're like our friends. We're exploring sound, we're exploring sonic capability of what vibration is in me that needs to oscillate and waveform into the orbs. So let's work with one orb. If we just take a moment, imagine the Shungite temple is all around you. You literally only need a piece. If you've got a whole set of 7, elite Shungite set of 7, that is incredible. And for me, I mean, I love that. And that's what I teach, is if people just make that investment, it's remarkable what it does to the body over time. Strengthens everything. But let's say that one piece, the energy of it is expanding all around you. It really is kind of, as you hold it, as you like rub it, sense it, feel it, the energy of it is really expanding. And if you've got a whole set, now would be a good time to just lie down and place the Shungite on the clothes or on the skin, whatever's comfortable. And we just come back to trying this beautiful visualization of the orb or the pyramid or the cube. We're using a container. Sometimes I use the analogy of the golden dustbin. Imagine if you had your own thick, solid gold dustbin trash can. So we can make sound into that as well. But the idea is that when we voice from those deeper, lower places within us, we're giving it with the mindset shift that it's super high in value. All the dark, heavy energy, it's all vibration, it's all thick energy. So when you give it to the higher beings, and that's what we do with this visualization. We give that heavy, whatever the sound is that you want to alchemize and become that master alchemist with. You're going to give it to the beings. When you give it like that, with all your love, with all of your heart, with high respect, high honor, they really do take it from you. It's a thing. I've tested it over many years. I've been doing it at least 7-8 years now, so it works. And aside from the fact that Shungite has a lot of scientific proof backing it. So, just really seeing in your mind's eye, in your space there with you at home, maybe you have an altar, maybe you're going to set one up, you've got your Shungite, you're closing your eyes, and you're seeing a beautiful, smiling like rippling liquid Shungite orb. It's kind of solid looking, but also moving, morphing, rippling, sparkling. They're extensions of Amon Shungin and Amon Shungina. And if you've watched some of the previous videos on the YouTube channel of the Shungite deities that have come forward, Amon Shungin, Amon Shungina, when we hold the Shungite and breathe that love in, the healing, protective, supportive energy, we are tapping into that grid of power, that grid of light, the crystalline grids, like last week's transmission from Chongfu. Shungite's immediate. When you work with it, you're straight into tapping in with the crystalline grids and connecting to those oversoul warrior deities, Amon Shungin and Amon Shungina, and the Jupiterian oversoul deity, vast ascended being, Kanofar, who is the oversoul of the Jupiterian presence. These beings come with the Shungite. So breathing in and visualizing that basketball-sized orb spinning right in front of you, just here. And see and notice, how fast is it spinning? Is it slow? Is it going like this and forward? And is it doing figure of 8? Like, how's it flowing? Can you slow the spinning down whilst visualizing the rippling sparkles of the Shungite, the glinting, the solar energy of the Shungite? And you're seeing yourself looking at it. So we're having an awareness of that you are working with this Shungite orb, your friend, our helper. And then breathing in, you're holding the Shungite. And just practice by making a tone into the Shungite orb. You're just noticing how it feels to make a sound and send it into the orb. So it might be any tone. We're not precious about what the tone sounds like, and as you can tell, I need to clear my throat. You might need to clear your throat, so excuse me for that. Shungite is just working in us strongly, clearing. It clears quick. It's very dynamic, very fast. The fullerene molecule comes in, so we've got multiple things happening at once. But this is about feeling the sound of the negativity that we might feel and making space to express it and practicing sending that vibration into your helper, into a very powerful, you could say, extended arm of Amon Shungin. Like he would be offering his hand like this, and from his hand comes the orb, and he's saying, come, work with me. So you see that orb again, just trying with your mind's eye, visualizing that orb. It's spinning. As it spins, it's really pulling stuff from you into it. So the awareness that this orb is an extension of the Shungite workers and the Shungite deities. It's your friend, and so we open our chakras in that special way of trust and knowing that, okay, this is a part of the super consciousness of the oversoul of the Shungite vibration. So I want to work with this beautiful orb that's hovering and floating. And it's magic. You can blow the orb away if it fills with content, and you can bring it back to you, and it's spinning there. So we're working with the way it's spinning, the magnetic pull of its spin. It pulls all tired breath from you. A yawny energy, or nervousness, or worries or woes, and we're just, imagine this is it. I'm just gonna like we did in a video a while back where Chong Fu was making sound into the cube, this big cube that I make these big cubes. But you might have a tiny piece of Shungite, so we just need a trigger point, like a doorway, a window. We've got that little bit of Shungite, or your pyramid, or whatever you have, and you're just just trying with me. You're just sounding. And if you don't have any Shungite at all, you just hold that ball like this in front of you, and you just affirm you're making sound into this beautiful helper, this orb. So we do that 3 times together, just breathing in, feeling the content in your body. It could be a joyous sound as well. You might not be feeling all the things I've been mentioning, and just you let the sound wobble and move. The vowel sounds might change as well, and you might brush your body as well on that first sound. And then you say with me, I give all of this old vibration that I've been carrying into this Shungite orb. And you breathe in from the earth. This is a kind of a self-Tonglen practice. Tonglen, if you don't know what that is, it's an ancient Tibetan practice where a monk would, or a nun, male or female, would sit in the middle of a ring of beautiful beloved brothers and sisters, or brothers or sisters. And that monk would have a massive release session. And all the other monks would extract all of that energy, whatever it is. Let's just call it old used energy, yeah? Or maybe other things, but you get the idea. The monks are soaking that in, and they're grounding it deep into the mountains. You know, they're toning. Ooh, it's very low, isn't it? It's kind of hints at it, doesn't it? Of this grounding power, this tree wisdom power. Like tree roots in the mountain, the roots of the mountain, roots, everything roots going down. Ooh. And the low tones, the combined low toning and the chanting of the monks, dissolving and grounding that heavy energy. And it's gone. That's Tonglen. So it's a powerful state of mind to know that one can have the power to do that, but it takes building up and learning about it and doing it, practicing it. And so we're doing it with Shungite. So imagine you're really going out of your way to really help yourself. So breathing into the root. We do our second sound into the orb. Breathing deep in. We're just emptying out sound. You're seeing the sound rippling and flowing into the orb. It's also spinning. So for me, mine spins forward because the underside of it's spinning up, collecting my sound, my vibration, and pulling it into itself. It's helping me. It's pulling my sonic vibration into it. It's spinning. But yours it could spin like this, or anyway. So that's the releasing part, right? Ooh. We'll do one more. We're breathing in. Maybe feeling your heart. You might put the Shungite on your heart. Ooh. We're being really honest here, right? Like, can you see? This is how I'm feeling right now. I'm not gonna hide. There's no hiding. Full transparency. I'm just feeling what is inside me. Oh, but because I do this every day, I'm always moving my energy. It never gets to a level where because if you imagine, sound stacks up, doesn't it? The decibels build. So if I don't express something I can hear within me as a truth that I'm not enjoying, if I don't express it and move that energy, it's gonna build up. And eventually, I'm going to be more like, you know, sometimes I do that, but it never gets out of hand because I'm always moving it. And that's what I'm hoping that you might do from this practice, is start to journey with a little bit of like, well, how do I sound? What do I sound like? What am I hearing? What's my soul song? Can I hear my soul song? Can I let the sound of my higher self in? Or am I too full of the ratio that I said about earlier? Am I too full of other types of noise? Thick stuff that really needed to come out little bit by little bit. I mean, some talk about anger management, and there's sound baths and gonging, and that's all really beautiful. Like, all these techniques are great. But with the Shungite, for me, this is like a very direct way to just, with space around you, hopefully there's no one around you, you can just take a few moments to feel yourself in using breath and sound. We're letting the spirit of the air, of the breath come in to switch everything on. The more you breathe, the more our chakras open, don't they? For me, that's how it happens. And then more and more and more, letting that sound do its thing. It's going to go in, it's going to wobble, it's going to shake, it's going to sound. So in a nutshell, that is my Shungite orb mini visualization practice there. And it's kind of short and sweet. We just do 3 sounds, and because we're sounding, we're trying to feel, we're trying to be aware of how we feel and how we sound. We're sounding into then, and now we're using the third eye and the visualization power that we have to imagine. So we're really using the imagination. We're setting up our temple. And yeah, so we're doing like multiple things at once. The key is to really see that orb spinning, to really let that energy in, and to just give it a go. I mean, there are tons of imagination, visualization, meditation things out there. And there's tons of Shungite out there. So, yeah, I hope you give it a go. Do leave a comment and let me know what you thought about this idea of the Shungite orb and connecting to the Shungite deities in this way. And if it benefited you at all, and let me know what sort of sounds you're making. I'm not shy. So if you're gonna go for it, just go for it and leave us a comment or a message. So I'd love to hear about it. So I hope that was beneficial for you and that you loved that. And we will see you next week with Chung Fu. Lots of love from the heart of the temple here, the Chung Fu Temple in Avalon. And many Shungite blessings. And may the trees bring you their wisdom as you ground and release your sound and get in touch with how you feel.